was told the talk was about asset and property protection.
I can cover that.
Well, I don't know what the other people were expecting.
I'm happy to cover everything. You name it, I'll cover it for you.
I don't know what other people want to hear about. Yeah? You want to hear about
Well, how many of you own land?
What was that?
How many of you own land? None of you. Who owns the land?
I'm the caretaker.
the placenta.
The placenta. And who owns the placenta? The government, the Vatican. You don't own land, you've been duped. And you don't even own land, because guess who owns land? There's a thing called whoever creates owns. So who owns land? God. Seen any bill of sale from God lately where he sold property to anyone? No. All you can stake is a claim of ownership. A claim of ownership is not ownership. Remember Ian Botham? He became Sir Ian Botham because the Queen gave him a title. Ian Botham is not the title. They are separate. And for him to get that title, he has to be subservient to the Queen. At best, you have a land title, which is the claim of something that doesn't exist. And on it, you've got...
But there's no titles anymore anyway.
Ah, yes, there are. I'll tell you, they're all digital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all held in Delaware.
Yeah. The physical paper may not be available, but you track them. You say, but surely you've got it all on the computer, digital. And they say, yes, it's all digital now. Well, that means you can print the screen out. Oh, I suppose we could. Well, yeah, I'll have a copy of that, thanks. Oh.
It's not what I was told.
So, on that paper, have you got something that says lot 25 and then the street address? Do you know what LOT means? We think it means, well, it was a lot before I bought it. No, if it was a lot before you bought it, it would be lowercase LOT. This is an anagram. Location of title. They are geographic coordinates on a map. You didn't buy anything real. You bought something in their paper world. Coordinates on a map. And you didn't buy it. The bank and everybody else deceived you into contracting to go all through the trust account. So the best way to protect the land and property is through the First Nations people. Quite simply, you go to them and say, will you give me a caretakership over this piece of land?
First Nations what, sorry?
The First Nations tribes, the First Nations people. And I'm going to tell you the exciting stuff that's going on. Some of you may know about it, but there is huge stuff unfolding. You don't own the land. You've been duped. So what you do is you send a notice to the bank. It's a notice for better and further particulars. And what you're going to ask for, and this comes back to your affidavit, you're going to ask for all documents concerning mortgage number relating to the living woman Mary Jane, of the family Smith. And you're going to send it off to the bank. And the bank can only do one of two things. We have no documents related to the living woman concerning that mortgage. That's the truth. Or they'll send you the documents back in the fiction's name. Either way, you've just exposed the fraud. And this doesn't matter if you've got a current mortgage or you paid the mortgage off 40 years ago. Because there's no statute of limitations in fraud. So let's say you've bought 10 properties over the years, you've paid them all off, and you go, wait a minute, I want all of that money back. I still want the title, but I want every single cent times 4 back as remedy for the fraud. And you know what happens? The bank's going to challenge it, and they're going to try and bully you and do all of this stuff. And just before the matter's going to be ruled on by the judge, they'll settle out of court and they'll pay you half of what you've asked them for. On condition that there's a non-disclosure agreement. You call them on their own ground. You can't protect the land because you don't own it. This is why they can come and do rates notices and do all of this stuff, because everything's in the name of the placenta which they own. How many of you own cars? I'll ask again. How many of you own cars? It's in your living woman name?
No.
Is it recorded in their system?
Yes.
Who's the owner?
The state.
State.
The placenta.
Placenta.
And who owns the placenta? So you've been cheated and frauded out of this for so long that nobody even questions it. You say, well, wait a minute. How do I get it into my name? It's really simple. You do a bill of sale and a transfer of title document. And we've got these as templates, so they're easy to get. The bill of sale. The executor of the placenta trust, which just happens to be you, but you are acting in a fictitious position as executor, directs the fiction to sell for $1 silver the property and all aspects concerning it, which includes the title, to the living woman for $1 silver. It's a bill of sale, it's a legal document. You've sold it. You've sold it out of the public realm into the private realm. And in the private realm, the government has no control over it. And you can put it into a private trust. The same thing with your car. But here's the clue. You're not going to keep it as a vehicle. See, a vehicle is what they control, like driver, these misnomers, these false names. So you'll see when you see the template, you are transferring it from the public, where it was used as a vehicle, into the private, where it is going to be used as private property. Now, if it's not a vehicle, you're not required to register it. And you don't need a license to drive it, because a license is in the fiction world.
That's fraud.
It's fraud.
So that would be the same with the rates.
Same with the rates. With the rates, I'll give you an even better way to deal with the rates. You go to ASIC, cost you $42, and you register the Alternate Bullshit Shire Council. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. Now, at the moment, there's only one show in town. There's only the local council. And they don't have any authority anyway. But if you register the Alternate Bullshit Shire Council, when they send you a rates notice from this council, say, oh, thank you very much for your kind offer. Okay? And it's been interesting being your client and customer for the last 5 years. However, I found another council that only charges me $200. And so I'm going to be doing my business with them. Guess what their council can do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because under the Monopolies Act, there cannot be a monopoly in business. So the smart thing is, you can set up for everyone here. You can say, no, you can say you do it through my council. There's nothing they can do about it. And here's where the real power comes in. Instead of paying them, I don't know what your rates are, $2,000 a year? More? And they're going to go up through the roof.
Yeah, they already are.
They're just going to escalate. Imagine if everybody in this community did that to the council. Because do you know how much percentage of your rates money goes back into the community?
Peanuts.
Zero. The majority of it goes to the Vatican. And then the next slice, because it all got divided up by the Unidroit.
Yeah.
So all of this money, it's this money. It's not real, it's the fiction world. The Vatican takes most of it. And guess who gets the next lot? Spain.
Oh,
Why does Spain get it?
because of something to do. Oh,
Catherine of
Catherine of
Aragons.
Sort of. It's to do with that.
the gods.
When they first came to Australia, there was a treaty done between the Portuguese and the Spanish to divide up Papua New Guinea, Australia, etc. There is so much stuff behind the scenes that when you start digging, you go, whoa! I mean, you all know where Australia is, don't you? Where's that?
Norfolk Island and a couple of other islands.
Norfolk Island, Cocos Keeling Island, and Christmas Island. Remember when all of the boat people were all trying to land here? They had to stop them before they set foot on the land, because if they set foot on the land, the government had no authority over them whatsoever. Because as a living man or woman, you're free to travel unrestricted wherever you go. So they had to sink the boats so they could rescue them, and where did they take them? Christmas Island, to Australia. Do you know where New South Wales is?
Norfolk.
No?
Yeah, that's silly.
Lord Howe Island. Lord Howe Island is New South Wales. So what they do
New South Wales Police is registered on Norfolk Island.
is Norfolk Island, yes. But New South Wales Government will be registered on Lord Howe. Spot on. From there, they offer administration of this land. The local court offers administration of the court. And you have a right to say, thank you, no thank you. And we'll keep, I'm going to go backwards and forwards as you ask questions. But here's the interesting thing.